Okay, so talking about a different side of reservations, one of the things that we have here is that we have this line here of room types, and I haven't changed any of our fun things, but we can do a couple different things here. The first one we can do is I'm actually going to change this and say it's 2 adults, and I'm going to do 2 rooms, and I'm just going to do tonight for 1 night. Same thing is going to go through, but what I changed is I've now got room 1 and 2 here. I just like the ARP rate today. And it's going to show that I've got 2 queen beds. I've got a bunch available. When I book this, same thing is going to keep. I'm not going to add anything there. It is going to offer me the opportunity to look for that guest. And one of the things that I was going to show you in here is that I forget when I have to use these. Is that guests that have been with you with the hotel in the past are going to show up here and have that information. These are guests that have we've created stuff for and profiles, but they haven't necessarily stayed. Here's an example of this reservation in my name, or this guest card in my name actually had a stay that was back in June. So we do have that data. So we can search for different things here. We can, as you kind of see from there, we can go from name. I can search from part of an email address and get people that return from things that way. I can also search by guests and do things that hit into there. So and then I can as well do, sub tests. So each of them, it becomes a way to search. So you go off of first name, we go off of last name, we go off of city and email. So just fun different things we can do. And if we say, this isn't any of these other people, we can make a brand new guest card to my favorite generic name. I mean, sorry, Mike, not to pick it. We could make Mike and have Mike's information. Now, when we did this, so this time I said 2 rooms. Notice that it now says 2 rooms up here, and we have 2 different reservations. We have the executive queen here. We have the executive queen here. We have 2 distinctly different confirmation numbers. Same thing happens if I make my credit card, and I'll use the other MasterCard that you could. 8 pairs of 5-4 will also get through any algorithm check on credit card numbers. It won't let it charge to it, but it'll let you get through as the algorithms to say, yes, it's a valid card number. And we'll add this to Mike's card. We get 2 physical reservations. I'm not going to send out a confirmation. If I go to the stay card, this does change slightly, and it shows, notice that I've got 2 right here. Even before, it always just showed the 1, but I have reservation 1 showing, and I have a second one that's slightly grayed out, and this is going to go through, and I can change it and go to this reservation. So they can be 2 different reservations that go through. But you can make multiple reservations there. Now, one of the fun things that happens is that, Mike called and talked to me and said, and he booked 2 reservations, but all of a sudden they get here and Mike is here with his brother John, and they say, well, we really don't want to just change it. If I change this reservation here, if I change this to be John Smith here, well, both of these reservations are now under John Smith. It's going to keep going through, and somebody goes, they're like, but I'm not changing it. So we do have the ability that we can switch this. Let's change this back to Mike, and I've saved it as Mike's name. If I expand out my guest card information, this is our guest card is the same place we can update our address. We can put him as 505 Main Street. And his zip code here in New Orleans is 70130. We can save all that information, and we can put in a phone number for Mike here. You could put in a mobile number. We could do all those fun things. It keeps all that information, and it updates the information at the top. If we need to switch it and say one of these reservations needs to go to Mike, so one of these is under Mike. Let me shrink this up. 969 is going to go to Mike, and 970 is going to go to his brother John. If I'm on this 970 reservation, I can use this option in the right-hand corner that says Detach Card. And it's going to say, please confirm that you want to remove this guest card from the stay card. And you're going to say, yes, I want to remove that. And it's going to say, great, give us new details for this. So I'm going to come in and say, I need John Smith. And it's going to say, look at, I actually have John Smith out of St. Louis who's been here with us before. Is this the same? And you say, I'm not actually going to, we'll use one that doesn't have information. And so it does give us one last warning that says, hey, there's future reservations for this same guest card, which is essentially the old Mike Smith guest card. Do you want to change this reservation or do we want to change all reservations? So when we do this, it's now updated. We've got John's reservation on here. It's now, look at this. It hasn't refreshed our 2, but notice that we now only have one number here. So we've only got the 102970 number. We don't have any of the information. And if I went to search reservations under the name of Smith, it's going to show me my reservation for John Smith in 1970 and the reservation for Mike Smith in 969. So it keeps all of those fun things and we can break that apart. But that's how I can make multiple reservations at one time.